Hi, I'm Sharon Bill. Welcome to my Music Theory Tuition series where I work with you step by step through the ABRSM Discovering Music Theory grades. I'll work through every single exercise and explain everything you need to know. You can access information about the books I have available to help you on my website. Go to sharonbill.com. For advert-free and longer lessons, you can become a patron at patreon.com/SharonBill. If you can give me a like, that would be super, and please do subscribe to my channel to stay updated. You can support this channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/SharonBill. In previous grades, we've looked at triplets, where we have 3 in the time of 2. We've looked at duplets, which are 2 stretched into the time of 3. And now we can see we can have groups of 5 or 6. Here it's interesting to note that the word tuplet is often used to just generally describe all of these kind of groups of notes. I think tuplet's quite a sweet little word, isn't it? However, we're on 5s and 6s now, and it's just the same principle. It's just that now we've got more notes to squish, and it's kind of always going to squish down into a group of 4. So a group of 5 beats, whatever that beat is, to a group of 4 of that same beat. A group of 6 into the group of 4. So we're just going to have the same principle. We're just squishing a few extra notes into the time of 4. So instead of 3 in the time of 2, it's 5 in the time of 4 or 6 in the time of 4. And then you can kind of break down the maths from that point on. And so there's not a great deal of thinking to do, really. It's just getting used to this. I think the problem occurs when you have to start performing them. That's where the real fun happens. However, today that's not our problem. We're just going to look at the maths of it. And so here we have 6 in the time of 4 of that same unit. So we have 6 semiquavers in the time of 4 semiquavers. And we know that 4 semiquavers is 1 crotchet beat. And we should have 4 crotchet beats in a bar. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. It's just that the poor performer is going to have to work a bit harder to fit all of those into that same second beat. And so now we can figure out what the time signature is going to be. We know that we're counting in crotchet beats. We know that 5 are played into the time of 4 of that same unit. We know that 4 semiquavers is a crotchet beat. We're counting in crotchet beats, and we have 1, 2, and then here we have our third beat. So we know the time signature is 3/4. Here's beat 1, which is equally divided into halves. Here's beat 2, and the performer is going to have to get busy to get 5 into this 1 crotchet beat, and then here is beat 3. So let's have a look again here. So now we're counting in minim beats, but the principle remains the same. We have 5 in the time of 4 of that same unit. So we have 5 quavers in the time of 4 quavers, which we know is 1 minim beat because crotchet, crotchet, 2 crotchets make a minim. So we have 1 minim beat here, we have 1 minim beat here, and then 2 crotchets gives us another minim. So we know with 3 minim beats per bar, and now we can just show where that's going to work. So the performer would have to count 1 beat, and then in beat 2 he'd have to fit all of these, and then beat 3 divides into 2 halves. Let's have a think about exercise D. And by the way, if you feel like you've got the hang of it, by all means, do just press pause, have a go on your own, and then we can check through the answers together when it's convenient to you. So let's now presume you've had a go, and we'll check through these together. If you haven't, perhaps be brave and do have a go. It's okay if you go wrong. So let's check this through together now. We're in quaver beats. And let's just sort this out first before we go any further. We have 5 demi-semiquavers, which we know are going to be performed in the time of 4 demi-semiquavers. And let's just think about that. let's just break down. The maths is easy if you just diagram it out. So 2 demi-semis is 1 semi, 2 demi-semis is 1 semi, 2 semis is 1 quaver. And so we know that all of this is going to be just 1 quaver beat. We're counting in quaver beats. We know that a crotchet divides into 2 quavers, and so we know now that we have 1, 2, 3 quaver beats. There's beat 1 and beat 2, and then here is beat 3, which fits all of these equally into that final beat. I suppose actually I should put the double bar lines. I don't know, does that matter? Let's do that. Why not? I don't think we need to, but just getting a bit carried away there. Okay, so let's look at exercise E. We're counting in crotchet beats. Let's deal with this business here. 6, and it's always going to go into the time of 4, equaling it down. We've got to fit it into the unit. So we've got demi-semis, 1, 2, 3, 4. Demi-semi quavers, and we've just done the maths and we know that 4 demi-semis is 1 quaver. So there's a quaver, there's a quaver, and conveniently we know that it's all grouped. We can see, you know, each time it's grouped in your unit value because that's the rules of beaming. And so we can see there is beat 1, and then here we have a half a beat and 2 quarters, which altogether, if we just look at that, a half of a beat and 2 quarters gives us 1 beat. So there's our beat there. So actually we've got 1 crotchet beat, 2 crochet beats. So there's beat 1, which is pretty busy, and then here's beat 2. And finally we're moving back into minim beats. We're counting each unit beat as a minim is that unit. So we have here 5 quavers in the time of 4 quavers, and we know that 4 quavers is 1 minim because a minim breaks down into 2 crotchets, which then again divides into quavers. 4 quavers equals 1 minim, so there's a minim. So we have 1 minim, 2, 3, and then 2 crotchets add up to a minim. There's our 4th beat. 4 minim beats per bar. 1, 2, beat 3, and then here's the start of beat 4. Although there looks like a long gap here just because there's a lot of notes going on, really they would all sound in time, so it would sound equal. It just looks unequal because there's more notes to fit into the space of beat 1, but it's always beat 1, beat 2, 1, 2, 3. It doesn't take longer, it just takes more space. Just worth noticing that. Now in the challenge we're asked to write a 2-bar rhythm. We're given the time signature 4/4, so we want 2 bars that will contain either groups of 5 or groups of 6 in the space below. So they're going to be quite busy bars. 4 crotchet beats is quite a lot of notes, so we're going to have to write small, I think. Before we get too carried away, let's just divide. We're going to have half each. So we've got some space to work in. Now I don't think we want musically to launch in with a fast rapid passage, so let's just establish the beat. We'll have a crotchet beat here and then we can kind of get the rhythm moving. I mean anything will do so long as you've got the correct number of beats and they are correctly grouped to show each new crotchet beat, unless it's a minim's worth of quavers only and it's not going over the halfway point in the bar, if you just remember that little exception to the rule and how to apply it. So here's beat 1. So now I think we'll get things going, but instead of having 2 equal halves, well, I see I said I'm supposed to write small and I'm stretching out. We're going to need a bit more space. So instead of having 2 equal quavers, I should use a ruler really, never mind. We'll have 3/4 and a quarter beat. So there's beat 1, there's beat 2. Let's just keep check. Now I think we'll have a group of 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. In order for these to be a crotchet beat's worth, 6 in the time of 4, it's going to have to be semiquavers, because 4 semiquavers make a crotchet beat. I guess you could do a quaver and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I just beam all of those together. This is another option. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but they would have to be demi-semiquavers to make your final quaver beat. So you could do that, I guess. However, I've committed to that, so let's carry on. So there's beat 1, there's beat 2, there's beat 3. We don't want anything to come to a finish yet. It's not the end of the exercise, so we'll just have 2 quavers. Okay, now we want a little bit of thematic unity. It isn't just like a random kind of drumming exercise. We want a little bit of musical balance. So let's just bring in a familiar aspect here. So we'll come back to the dotted quaver, semi-quaver crotchet beat as beat 1 this time though. Now I think I will make use of this quaver, but we'll have a group of 5. So here's our first quaver beat, and then if we have 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 demi-semis, so I just need to now make this last group of 5. So that's 5 in the time of 4, which is going to give me a quaver beat. There's a quaver beat. So there's beat 2. And I think we're done. Let's bring it to a close. I don't think we'll just suddenly slam off the end of that into a minim. Let's just gently slow things down with beats 3 and 4 as crotchet beats. I think that will do. I hope this is helpful to your studies. Please do like and subscribe to stay updated. If you'd like to support this channel, you can buy me a coffee, and for advert-free lessons, you can become a patron. Do visit my website where you'll find many resources available to help you. Visit sharonbill.com. Thanks for watching. Bye.